Hi, welcome to Town Wine TV. I'm Taylor.
And I'm Elliot, and I hope you're going to enjoy the next few minutes as we spend together playing and learning and enjoying wines.
So we decided to start this video blog to introduce wines that we're really excited about, products that we think deserve attention, that aren't going to get a lot of press, that aren't going to be in the papers, that aren't going to be in the magazines. So we figured this was the best way to introduce some things that we really like. So today we're going to talk about 4 wines that are good for Thanksgiving. 2 of the wines are from California, 2 of the wines are going to be from Europe. We got one from Germany and we got one from Italy. So first we're going to talk about is the Von Winning, which is going to be German Riesling, which is a really interesting Riesling in the sense that Stefan Altmann, who is the winemaker, is kind of a nutcase in a way. He doesn't go to things in the traditional way. He adds oak. He uses malolactic fermentation, which is not typical for German wine.
He's pretty inventive, and he really enjoys wine.
Absolutely.
And I think what you'll find with all these wines as we proceed through them is that they're really meant for the Thanksgiving table, because there's a commonality between all these wines, where your table is so full of so many delicious foods and flavors. These wines are really meant to cut through all those flavors so that you can taste the food again. So go ahead, tell them about our wonderful little Riesling we found.
Okay, well, so Stefan is, one of the things that he really believes in is he wants his wines to be powerful. He wants them to be big. He wants them to be structured. He doesn't want fruity wines. He wants manly wines. That's what he wants. And this is sort of his introduction to it. There's a little bit of wood here, so you get a little bit of wood in the nose, but you're getting good minerality, you're getting good intensity, really good acidity. You're getting a little bit of peach, I think a little bit of apple.
I do detect a little bit of that richness under the underling of the wine, but I really appreciate the cleanliness, the purity of the wine and the finish. So as far as a food wine, this is really beautiful. I think it's going to work out beautifully.
Absolutely. It's going to go really well with things on the dinner table. So that's a good pick. It's $21.99, so pretty nice bottle of wine. It's imported by Terry Thies, who's one of our favorite importers. So next we've got is from Mount Eden, which is going to be out of California. This is a good little time to talk about what's happening in California. Mount Eden is part of In Pursuit of Balance, which is sort of like a trade organization that's that was created to talk about and promote wines that are about balance, that are about control, that aren't about a lot of oak, that aren't about a lot of high alcohol. It's sort of the antithesis of what the theme has been in California for the last 20 years. Or
even longer, but I think it's marvelous in that there are probably a group of maybe, what, 10 or 15 vineyards that prescribe to
about
this?
15, sure.
And their whole thought is more balance instead of that heavy oak, heavy fruit, is to find the wine and the balancing of the fruit and the juice to be perfect in harmony. And this is one of the first ones that we're going to show you on our first segment.
So this is Domaine Eden. So this is their sort of their second tier Chardonnay. Their estate bottled is going to be their lead Chardonnay. This is from another property that they own. And this is designed to be drunk more in its youth. It's one that they want to be a little bit more hedonistic, a little bit riper, a little bit bigger. And one to be drunk young. So you definitely get good citrus, you get good kind of weight, you're getting a decent amount of oak to it. It's not overly oaked, again, it is about balance. And
we do wish you were all here tasting these wines, because this is really delicious.
Absolutely.
I think what I detect here is a really lush, rich middle mouth. The end is, again at the end, the purity, the cleanliness of the wine is going to be so appropriate for the Thanksgiving holiday. But I really do like the nose, and I really love that richness in the middle of the mouth. It's pretty neat.
Sure. One of the things that I think is really interesting, and this is a really good example of when we talk about balance, I think one of the thoughts is that wines can't be big, they can't be rich,
right.
They can't have a lot of body, and we think that it's almost as if it's either one or the other. Where this actually shows you can have plenty of weight, you can have plenty of richness on the palate, and it can still be balanced. It still has good acidity. It's still fresh.
Right.
It's got plenty of weight.
I think, you know, in the last couple of years, every time you looked at one of the high-scoring point wines, they're always monsters. They were rich, they were forward, they were powerful. Yeah, but not elegant. I mean, you can be powerful, you can be rich, but it can all be in harmony and it can all be in balance. And that's what this particular Chardonnay shows us.
Domaine Eden really shows that really well. Yeah. So now we're going to move on to a couple of reds. This is going to be a new wine that we have just came in, which is imported by Kermit Lynch, who's one of our favorite importers out of California. And this is the Tintero Rosso, which is going to be a fresh, clean wine, no oak on it, all about kind of the fruit and the vibrancy. And the estate was started in 1900, so it's been around for a very long time. And this is one of their newer wines. It's a blend of 40% Nebbiolo, 40% Barbera, 10% Dolcetto, and 10% Cab Franc.
Or that Dolcetto, that fruit, that freshness, that sparkle just pops right out of the wine.
Yeah, it kind of reminds me in a way of a more structured, a little bit more weight to it, but something sort of Beaujolais-ish, that kind of freshness and liveliness, good acidity, but beautiful wine, really, really good fruit.
Oh, this is perfect. I love the body weight of it. The color's really, really gorgeous. Like you say, it's kind of Beaujolais in color, but there's a nice depth. And that little Cabernet Franc just gives it that little kind of body richness that you need, a little bit more spice to it.
And I think it does, the Cab Franc gives a little bit of an herbal sense. There's a little bit of an herbal edge to it, which is a very, very traditional Cab Franc flavor.
Beautiful nose.
Yeah, cool stuff. Right. So this is $10.99, so very inexpensive, very cool, really neat wine. Last wine we have is going to be Calera. This is their Pinot Noir, their Central Coast Pinot Noir. Calera is another one of the wineries that's part of this In Pursuit of Balance. Again, you'll see a running theme through these videos. Balance is something that's very important to us. We really enjoy wines that have control to them. So this is the Central Coast Pinot Noir.
Josh Jensen does an incredible job. I mean, I think he scoped out the property for years before he actually started planting grapes. He's done amazing work, but this one, for the value, for the price that we're offering it at, just offers so much more of that berry nose, that beautiful layered flavor, very soft, a little bit more plush than the Italian. Just a fabulous accompaniment for dinner.
Right, and what's really interesting about Josh Jensen sought out limestone soils after spending a lot of time in Burgundy, and really wanted to showcase what could happen in California with similar soils as Burgundy. Bought this property up in Mount Harlan, making really interesting wines. He introduced this a little later on, so this is actually his Central Coast. So it's all purchase fruit, the growers that he's worked with for a long time, with some really interesting vineyard sites. But it's still about balance. It's still about,
I love the finish. This finish just keeps on going and going and going. It's
beautiful nose.
Beautiful nose. Just really well put together with Pinot Noir.
So we're big fans of what they do. Calera is certainly a star in our eyes, and I think this is going to be great with Turkey. There's no question.
Absolutely.
And a little bit step up in weight from the Tintero. So it's just a little bit more body, a little bit more richness. Beautiful nose. So.
Well, I hope you join us again. I hope the information that we can pass on to you is both fun, and I hope you get to learn, and I hope you come in and chat with us, because it's all about balance, like Taylor was saying. And I think here at Town we offer you just people who really are into it, and we speak wine and we enjoy wine.
Yeah, well, so thanks for watching. We're going to have new videos coming out hopefully on a weekly basis, and I hope you have fun with this. Thanks.
Thank you.